Hello, everybody.
Nice.
How are we all doing?
I'm feeling lazy.
Yeah.
Feeling nice and cozy. I'm feeling
like
ready to subject you to some torment.
Day of quarantine.
It's Luke's birthday.
It's my birthday. Yes. So that sucks. But
See, the thing is, I can't tell if it's actually your birthday or if this is a bit, because this is the first I've heard of this since we went on stream, and I don't know your real actual birthday because, like, I don't know. I guess I don't really. Do you guys know people's birthdays day to day, like people who aren't your family?
I don't bother to learn people's birthdays, and if people don't wish me a happy birthday on mine, I really don't care.
yeah, I don't even know my siblings' birthdays or my parents' birthdays.
Really?
No.
Nah.
You could quiz me right now, and we could do it like a fun game.
Let's guess.
Okay. Wait, I was 70-30 on this being some sort of bit that was being set up. Is it actually your birthday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Happy birthday! Holy shit!
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in that case, I have a present for you. Being some nice, tasty plot.
And only a mild amount of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys, being specifically Ken, Gabe, and Chelsea, there's a point where I'm going to get you guys to take off your earphones for a bit, and I'll give you a thumbs up when we're good to put them back on. I'm going to describe and do the normal show opening first, but there's something that I want the audience to be privy to that you're not privy to.
Oh, man. I
Tip
hope it's
my
good.
hand a little bit for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Spooky.
Spooky, scary.
Extra worried now.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
When last we met, you guys had made your way through Newtown. You had finished all the nonsense with the manifests and the documentation and porters and cranes, and finally got the lemons onto your damn boat and got all together, and now you're sailing back to Mon. It took you about 2 days to get there. Now we're going to be joining up just a little bit before you arrive. It's a nice sunny day. Why don't you guys take those headphones off for a bit? I'll give a visual thumbs up when it's time to go back.
Goodbye, world.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. So, for those of you who have been following the show for a while, or at least for a little bit, you'll be aware that these guys have a lot of enemies, and their enemies have a lot of pull and connection. Like, this is still a game, and I don't expect people to be perfect in that same sort of immersive way, so I'm not going to punish every mistake, but there were a few big ones that they made. They stopped paying attention to the heads that they were carrying. They stopped refilling that sedative, and they stopped making sure that Kree was dead. And now they've been thinking about it again, but it's been way too long. Likewise, they used their real names in Newtown. And the ghost ship was a legendary ship. It was tracked back to that island. Might not be a good idea for the party to go back there. This connection of mistakes has meant that they have a lot of different people coming back, in addition to the problem that this plot was going to bring them. And it's going to end very, very badly. There's a version of this that plays out, the one that I expect the party to go down if things go badly enough. That's like a planned out plot, but every possible other opportunity is something that I am not ready for, and there's so many ways this can go wrong. So basically, all it is to say that there's a lot of people that they really don't like coming to the same place at the same time. And that's going to be the scenario in which we find ourselves today. Putting on some headphones. Can everybody hear me?
I won the headphone race. I was the first one to hear all the cool stuff.
I got blocked up by some apparel.
Yeah, I see you have a big old hat going on.
I can't. Oh god.
Too uncomfortable?
So incredibly uncomfortable and hot. Very, very hot.
I mean,
yeah. it was really hot, like a little bit too hot for Twitch, so it's probably good you took it off.
Yeah.
All right, so to resume my explanation, you guys are sailing into this town, I wouldn't expect you guys in character to remember the name either. It's a little tiny fishing hovel in the middle of nowhere, but it's a place called Little Inlet. As you guys approach the island, Reggie, you're the first to notice something. There's no birds in the sky. Corvo notices too.
Wouldn't there be at least some birds, provided that there is something to support the life?
I mean, we're kind of in the middle of a huge body of water. Can I roll science to see if this is strange?
Sorry, could you say that again? You cut out.
Can I roll science to see if this is a strange thing?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, just double check how much science I got. Oh, that's a 21.
21. Yeah, now that you look closer, not a single bird in the sky. This doesn't make a lot of sense. You aren't close enough to see anything on land, but you are getting closer because you're charting a course for Little Inlet, and you're inbound. It's still sort of distant and narrow in your field of view. You can't make out much detail beyond the fact that, like, you would see the birds by now in the distance, or a few flying by overhead close to your ship, and there's none here.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed, but that is you would expect that there would be at least some flying in from fishing or whatever.
Can I sense any fish? Like,
yep, you sense that there are fish nearby.
So they have food. You would assume that at least some of the ones would be able to get to them.
Well, now, does your fish sense let you know how big the fish are? Maybe we're surrounded by big bird-eating fish.
For that, you would have to roll for that.
Reggie's just gonna be like, no, not this close to shore.
On second thought, Reginald, I think, yeah, you're probably right. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
As you guys are bearing in the island, now you're getting close enough that you can see that there's no other ships at the port. This wouldn't be super unexpected for a place of this size, but, like, you also don't see, like, anybody moving around. You wouldn't expect to see any animals, like big game or anything, but now that you're thinking about it, you don't see them either. You're getting closer.
So
I asked Reginald, do you remember there being birds last time we were here?
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. This is the island where we need to drop off the oranges to Maud, right? Or
yeah, lemons, but
lemons, whatever. The citrus. The variety of citrus fruits, possibly containing lemons, possibly containing oranges.
The most important thing is that vitamin C to fight off the scurvy specifically.
Yes.
So oranges would have also been a perfectly valid choice.
Do I remember there being wildlife other than our horses that had touched down on the island last time we were here?
I mean, you wouldn't have thought it to be notable, but you don't remember it being, like, barren like this.
Not that I recall.
Vesta? Blue? Are you...
Vesta doesn't care.
Vesta, you don't think this is even a little bit...
I mean, like, we should be suspicious, but let's just land on the island to see what's going on.
Oh, okay.
By now you're getting close enough that you can see that the streets are empty.
I know this isn't exactly a rare occurrence, but I have a bad feeling about this.
You're right. That isn't really a strange occurrence.
Should I omen watch?
Go for it.
You can watch them omens.
I omen watch this landing on the island situation.
You have a horrible feeling about this, but you feel like this is a shitstorm you're already in, especially given you've already entered the mouth of the bay. By now, you're just about to dock at port.
Well, we could just drop them off. Leave them there. Leave again.
Henny, because you were thinking about, like, animals and all that stuff, you definitely hear insects, a lot of insects.
Okay. Well, good to know that not all life has just been obliterated. And fish, too, I suppose. I mean, I guess fish count as life. Well, I don't think that's such a bad idea. Now, Maud we were going to sort of negotiate for some sort of compensation with Maud. I don't want to sound cowardly, but I would be willing to forego. I don't think Maud had a lot of money anyway. Forgo those sort of negotiations to just drop it off at port and skedaddle.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
Reginald, have you seen anything like this in the war? Like, is there any sort of weapon or magic that could have?
Considering these deliberations, you guys have slowed outside the port right next to the docks, but you haven't stopped and docked at port.
And
Continue on.
I'm going to assume, no, I haven't heard of anything like this. I'm going to assume that the closest approximation I can get is Elven Mist.
I would like to detect magic.
Go for it. Roll that ritual.
Roll that.
I would like to roll detect clams.
17.
You say detect clams, but technically Reggie can do that. 17. You don't feel any distinctive pervasive magic or anything like that. There's little traces and stuff, but nothing outside the realm of normal magic. Just the usual, a faint ward on someone's house. That being said, you still haven't docked at port, so you're too far away to really properly investigate, but now that you're here, you can see that actually there are a few people in the streets. There's a few bodies that are just sort of strewn about. They don't seem to just be flat on the ground. They seem to be slumped against buildings or in chairs or lying down prone near walls, things like that.
And they're definitely bodies?
Yeah.
Are there any injuries on them at all? Can we see blood or?
Not from here.
Can we see it? Are any of the buildings damaged at all? This doesn't look like some sort of naval attack.
There is no damage. Specifically, the town is not immaculate. It was a shabby shanty town, but there are absolutely no signs of struggle at all.
Okay, well, common sense says that we should probably drop the lemons off in Leaf Butt. Now, however, I do really want to know what killed them now.
Plague. That's my guess.
Plague.
Should we speakerphone it and be like, hello? Is there anybody out there? Thoughts?
I mean, feel free to try. I can't see the harm. I don't think I have the sort of the vocal range necessary for communication like that.
Well, I don't want to land on the island if it's a plague.
Yeah, no, germs. Do
we know about germs?
Do we know about germs?
You know about plagues, you don't know about germs.
Okay. Plagues exist, and it's probably best to not go near them.
You actually don't know that.
Ah.
Basically, this is the same sort of thing as the Renaissance to 18th century-ish. So your understanding of plagues is that there's the reason you might not want to come to docks would be anything else, but specifically to avoid infection is not something you would think of. You probably shouldn't touch the bodies, and you should probably give them a wide berth, but
yeah.
Okay, well, against better judgment, I mean, they say curiosity killed the cat, but I am a fox, so
I don't know.
Reggie's going ashore. He's tired of all this. He's going ashore.
Okay, let's dock.
All right, you guys slowly make your way up to port. You dock, you tie yourselves down, and you make your way onto the pier. From here, you see sort of like the dockside and the street that sort of winds its way through the geography a bit. Some buildings from side to side. Seems desolate.
Is there any bodies that we can see from here?
Yeah, same ones you were able to see before. The closest one would be, it looks like someone just sort of like slumped over on the side of the wall.
Do they look like they have injuries, though?
I wouldn't say that they look like they have injuries, more like this looks like a gross body that's been out in the sun 2 days.
There's a couple things I want to do here. First thing, plague doctors exist. Can I roll that shapeshift to, like, form sort of a protective mask?
Is that something you can do based on the level of it you have?
I have 2 dots. Would be
But
horrifying.
also, we don't know about it.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll go up and I'll roll medical to see if I can figure out how this guy died.
All right.
Let me just double check how many points I have in that. Okay. I am.
See how good of a Dr. Henny is.
I'm a 19. I'm a level 19 mafia boss. I got a 19.
All right. So with a 19, you look down and you see, like, yeah, this body's been out in the sun for 2 days, but, like, there's no gunshots, there's no sign of, like, sores and vomiting or anything like that. And you think of your earlier observation about a lot of the wildlife not being there. You reckon that this was a poisoning.
Okay.
Something like this, like just washing over the entire island, would be very sudden.
Interesting. A poison.
Might be in the water.
Can I roll? I'd like to roll sleuth, but that's just to look for clues of life drinking.
Yeah, go for it.
We kind of know what that looks like at this point, the eyes, and so I'm rolling that. That's a 21.
All right. As you're looking around, you hear you're still sort of at the opening of the town. When you were coming by now, you thought of it as like, oh, tiny little thing. But now that you're here and going, what the fuck is happening? We're surrounded by bodies. You've barely moved in. There's like just a little dockside, and you can proceed further into like the starting of the main street, and then the town square is past that. So where you are now, the dockside and like the edge of that main street, you don't see signs of life drinking. Not based on what you've come to recognize. Red and blue both concur. There's no signs of life drinking here.
Okay. Well,
All right.
we should see if there's anybody still alive.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Anybody that needs help, either. Like,
I say we search the town.
okay. Just a warning: I wouldn't eat or drink anything
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Vesta, do you have any alchemy vials?
I probably have alchemy vials. I would have vials, right?
Yeah.
Those would be in
I
supplies.
think we should take some samples of the drinking water. If there's a well, see if we can like figure out where this poison came from. Because if it's animals, birds, I mean, those things all drink water. The fish probably would be safe because they drink salt water.
If anybody's going to be taking drinking water and finding poison in it, that's going to be Vesta.
That's good. Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You have the alchemy. You have sort of the skill set for that.
Okay. Yeah. I ask everybody. Make sure everybody knows to only eat and drink from supplies, and search the town. I will go to the town well. There's probably a well, right?
Yep, that would be in the town square.
Yeah.
Okay, well-
I'll go to the town square.
Yeah, I think we.
I
should
also
all-
bring somebody with me.
Yes, I don't think we're splitting up. I think we'd all go together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Steelfist, Trunk, and Elmira, could you hang back and just guard the ship? Give a good hoot and holler.
Okay.
Just making sure in case Will tries to pull a mean DM thing. No one's guarding the ship. I guess it's
No one's guarding the ship. Now you're abandoned on this island where everyone's dead.
Gotta eat the bodies.
Sorry, Will. Now you don't get to use that lemon stealing whore that you started.
I might. So you have Steelfist, Trunk, and Elmira staying with the ship while the rest of you guys move closer into town. All of you are on edge given the obvious plentiful bodies, so you stay close-knit and creeping forward. You make your way down that town square and you pass a few buildings that are empty. You get closer into the market, and as you get in there, you see that there's like a Y sort of road. One of them seems to head off towards the small number of farms. The other side is heading towards, you don't really know, just sort of off into the woods. The market square itself is dressed like there's vendors here, but empty.
Now, is it empty or is it like bodies?
Empty, actually.
Huh.
During this entire time, have we seen any like food sources? Like someone left some like a plate lying around, or some scraps, or something like that?
You don't see that like there are any like meals being left out in particular.
Okay.
So just some clarification. It looks like the market was set up. Like they have wares out and about, but there's nobody here?
In particular, in the market, it looks like there's no like bodies or anything. Like everybody left or something.
Oh, right. But so say if there's like a knife stall, the knives are laid out as though someone should be tending it?
Exactly.
Okay. Is there any... I'm looking for signs of mass footprints. Like, does it look like this place was evacuated? Is there anything knocked over? Any sort of signs that people were moving en masse in one direction?
No, not at all.
I go to the well and get a sample of the water.
You move over to the well and you hear like the insects going like a loud droning in the background. Everybody's kind of just quietly looking around, and you slowly lower down this bucket and it creaks and creaks. And then you bring it back up and it quietly creaks and the drone continues and you fill a vial up.
Okay. Ominous.
I'm going to roll Grace to catch one of these bugs that's buzzing around.
Mr. Miyagi style?
With your hands?
With my hands, just like...
Some chopsticks?
Oh God. That was a 1, not a 6. Sorry, Gabe. It's a 7, 10 to catch a
10.
bug.
You miss.
Fuck.
That being said, in your attempted swipe at it, you do roll science.
Science? Woohoo! Not the better. Well, not really. That's a 19.
Corpse fly.
Okay, so I'm assuming attracted to the bodies.
Corpses.
Not like a harbinger of death. Thinking maybe mutant insects, some sort of big sting, but they're just normal flies. Okay. Doors open, ajar. They're all locked, closed. I'm gonna go
They
check.
all seem to be closed.
I'll go knock at the nearest one, I guess.
You knock.
Do you try opening it?
Yeah, I'll try to open it.
Door opens. Inside, you see that there's someone. It looks like close to like a dinner that's been prepared, but it's been knocked over and most of the meal is left there, only 1 or 2 bites. You do see that there's a water skin that's fallen over and emptied. There's also an empty bucket and another one still full of water near the door. The occupant is strewn out on the floor, kind of like the other bodies, not like they just fell over, but more like this person sort of crawled to a corner of the room and then stopped moving.
I'm looking at the corner. What do I see?
The body.
The body?
No, the corner that he was crawling to. Is there anything significant about it?
It's just the corner of the room.
Okay. It's not like a window. It's just a plain empty corner.
Yeah.
Well, we should get a sample of that water that he has in a bucket and the food, maybe?
So the food that there's bites out of, I want to take a sample of that too.
Can you tell what ingredients it was made out of?
Can I tell?
I mean, you can very cleanly see that it's a steak and some mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a relatively simple meal. You just look at it and you're like, yeah, that's steak and mashed potatoes. You're able to. The mashed potatoes are very viable.
Mm-hmm.
The steak would be a pain in the ass.
I'll just cut off a piece of it.
You go. The knife and fork are on the ground, so you pick them up. You get a little piece and you stick it in the vial.
Yeah.
How? Okay. I'd like to roll medical. Do some CSI shit. Looking at the bugs crawling on him. How long has this guy been dead for?
Roll it.
That is a 9, 12, plus 9 is 21.
Looks like 2 days.
2 days. Okay, and that was the same as the other body.
Yep.
So I don't think it's a plague, because a plague would people be staggered out as it doesn't generally kill everybody at once.
Yeah, it looks like a poison. Like he ate something and then it hurt, so he crawled over to the corner to sit down or something.
Maybe. Okay. Reginald, I think you probably have the lung capacity for it. You want to give a holler?
Shout to the ship? Or
No,
just holler for
just
anyone out?
See if anyone's around,
Yeah. Is there
I'm going door to door at this point, just looking for survival.
I'll go back to the market square and just give a loud sort of hey, anybody out there?
All right. So you guys are. You went to check a house very close to the edge of the market square. So as you guys all pile out of that house after first checking the body, you're in a group and deciding what to do when in all directions you hear there's the sound of wood creaking, and as you look there's some familiar faces that pop out of the shadows.
Well, that might be good or bad. Depending on how familiar the faces are.
At this point, in the distance, you hear a deep bellow. You can't make it out, but it's Trunk shouting something. You then hear Steelfist repeat in the distance, "Soldiers!" And you see them getting chased down, and they run into the marketplace right as there's ranks of soldiers and soldiers coming in behind them. You count 20. They all raise weapons at the group of you as well. Trunk, Elmira, and Steelfist end up in the middle of your group.
Yeah.
This is a standoff. You all have an off turn. They all happen at the exact same time. There's no precedence. If there's two off turns that contradict each other, they happen at the same time, they both take place.
I would like to roll to see if I can. I want to know how well trained these guys are. Are they Royal Guards? Are they bandits? State of equipment and stuff like that. Once over. What's that?
Roll mental weapon.
Can I roll Militactics for potential escape routes?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I need to grab my stuff.
Can I yell, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's going on?"
That is... Okay, I got a 28.
Okay, so Henny with the 28, you see that the soldiers coming down there are actually their trade association, oddly enough. They're not wearing Freedland's colors, they're wearing the trade association uniforms. That being said, they're all wearing matching equipment, they all have decent training, they're all moving rank and file close together like they should be.
So these guys ain't no dummies, basically.
Yeah.
These are a threat.
Mm-hmm. And Reggie, what did you say you were doing?
Militactics for escape routes, and I rolled a 12.
12. The alley, the two streets behind you are too far to run for a standoff. That being said, if you all get the hint quick enough, you could probably dive into the market for a more extended shootout and use it as cover. That being said, you would be easily surroundable.
It would be the Alamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I yell, whoa, 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 what's going on?
All right. So as you guys all sort of gaze around and take out your weapons in response to these being raised at yours, or being raised at you, you say, whoa, 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 what's going on? At this point, you look around and you see that it's Chet, Garth, Dreadnought, the people who had been chasing you ages ago. The Trade Association also are pointing weapons at not just you, but them too.
Oh, so there's three of us, three groups here.
Yeah.
Oh.
At this point, it's Chet that speaks up, and he goes, "We found your well poisoners." In response, the guy from the Trade Association goes, "Well, how do we know it's not you?"
You know it's not us because we literally just got into dock.
We just got here. Like, we have the documentation that we were at port in another city 2 days ago, which is when these people died.
Which, according to our medical opinion, is when they died. We came here looking for survivors.
Well, we came here to drop off a shipment. Like,
When the hell did you guys get here? There certainly weren't any boats in the dock when we docked.
At this point, you hear the Dreadnought character that you've heard before saying things. Although you guys have heard this person in armor before speaking sort of these slow, like jilted, half-forgotten sentences. At this point, out of character, this person goes, "These felons are wanted on a number of different charges. I could list them out for you, but suffice it to say, they're the serial terrorists that the Central Mainland has been dealing with for the past year."
we're not wanted on charges in this land.
At this point, the Trade Association sort of look at the group and go, "All right, probable cause from you. You're not wanted here. These other strangers seem to be some sort of law enforcement."
Hold on here. Probable cause. We're not wanted here. So we poison a frickin' well so we are? I'm sorry, sir, but that is not probable cause.
You paid off Maud's debt. You got the lemons. Maybe things went south.
We just got here. How could things have gone
We
south?
just got here. Like, we have the documentation to prove that.
All right, then. Let's act nice. And there's an interruption. There's a distraction. Everybody gets an off turn.
What is the distraction?
You can check as your off turn.
I will check as my off turn.
Okay. It's just one of those things where things start moving and everybody just sort of shifts.
Okay.
So what are you doing, Reg?
Reggie's moving forward. If shit's gonna go south, he's gonna be the front line. Not like aggressive, let's fucking do this, but like, what the fuck just happened? I'm protecting me and my own kind of thing.
Right. Shield up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm going to back up.
Henny is drawing her weapons, and if they're not already drawn, is trying to disguise her face slightly with shapeshift. That's not going to go well, but panic instinct, not wearing a mask, God, anything might help.
All right, roll shapeshifting.
Suddenly, like, half of your face is pink.
I got an 8.
All right. So you sort of quickly turn, and then you're shocked to see that there's a blade at your throat, one that Chet has drawn. There's one at yours too, Vesta. Your allies have closed in, and they've started bearing weapons. Elbjorn's got a blade up to, looks like, this Dreadnought character. Everybody with the trade association has moved forward a few paces. They have a better view on everyone, and a lot of them have gotten into cover. Vesta. Reggie, you move ahead of the group. You're the front line, you lock in front of people, and you have a view of the trade association guns that are still pointed at both of you. Vesta, you look behind you, and you see that coming out of a number of the nearby buildings, there's strangers. You don't recognize them, but they're pointing weapons at the people who came for you in the first place. Okay. The interruption is somebody from one of the nearby buildings going, "We saw everything. It's true what they're saying."
Okay, that's good.
Or is it? We don't know who they're talking about.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's good. We saw everything. We know it's true what they're saying. We're totally the people who did it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right. Okay, strangers. That is to say, and Chet and all them get that that's who it is. Let's pull up those weapons real quick. And right as he says quick, there's another change. This time, Reggie, you see that it's happening next to the formation of trade association people. Vesta, you see that there's somebody coming out of some more nearby buildings. You guys all have an off turn.
Can I use my off turn to try and grapple Chet?
Yeah, go for it.
What's that a roll for?
Weapon, just a grab.
Okay. That is a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21.
21. All right. Reggie?
Who is it that has a blade to Vesta's throat?
That was Chet, but by the time things are moving, you already see that Chet's being grappled. Henny, you're successful.
In that case, I'm putting my knife to the person who was at Henny's throat.
All right. You shift around, and you have the edge of your axe blade against Garth's throat.
Goodness.
The rest of the shield wall have moved up in step with you to sort of like guard against... I'm going to call them your opponents for the sake of clarity, who have been coming sort of directionally flanking at you. You hear this Dreadnought character go, "Task Force, assemble!" And there's another clattering as from two alleys behind these guards and from the nearby buildings, there's 3 groups that come out. All of them have a Dreadnought.
What? Why don't we have our own task force? This is bullshit.
Our task force, idiot!
It's just like the trade union has people, the town folk has an army, fucking task force has an army, and then there's us.
You hear an echo, almost. One of the people from behind goes, "We are task force, authority, behavior, civility." And then the last one is Dreadnought, and they ping-pong around like that between each Dreadnought.
Okay.
You reckon you're outnumbered at this point.
Gosh.
There's guns against the back of a lot of the trade association officers, but these aren't the type to raise hands. They turn around and now they have guns on the people who have come at them. Henny, you have Chet down to the floor, but now you guys are outgunned.
This situation has escalated quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Can I look around to see who is the most important person? Like, who out of the opponent group looks like the most important person?
Based on the fact that you've seen this person giving orders and this is the member that's in each group, you reckon that these Dreadnought things are in charge. Based on the way that they were speaking, you imagine that somehow they're all one unit, or it was rehearsed.
Now, Okay, I don't want to get too edgy here, but can I use medical to figure out how to, like, pressure point this fool or, like, dislocate his shoulder a little bit? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
like I don't want to kill him. That seems too far, but, like, I also want to take him out of the fight because he's kind of an asshole.
Well, you dislocate his one arm.
That's a 9 plus 18.
I was going to say, you dislocate his one arm, but he still has 3 more.
That's true, but I feel like he's kind of a baby, and he'll probably be like, ow, my arm.
So what was your roll?
18.
All right, so you're there, and based on the position you're in, you just dig in your knee. You hear Chet sort of go, and that is enough distraction to make everyone else have a chance to take an off turn. Reggie, Vesta, Henny, that was yours.
Makes
Oh my
sense.
goodness. I would like to get out of the line of fire, but I don't think that's possible. I don't know. I'll let Reggie go. I'll follow Reggie's lead, I guess.
Reggie's not moving, though. Right? Like, we can't retreat anywhere, like, we're, like, completely surrounded on all sides. Reggie's in fight or flight mode, and he's, like, ready and raring to fight. Like, I don't...
As an off turn, I take out my shield and stand next to Reggie, I guess.
All right, Vesta, you close up the formation. Reggie, you're perfectly stationary. I'm going to let you do a mili tactics roll. Just
Okay.
in, like, edgy, like, that kind of action.
I appreciate that you came closer to the camera. That added
That added a lot of effect to it.
I've been told I have very expressive eyebrows for some.
That is a 16.
Oh,
16. You get a sense of numbers. There are 13 of you in the party. The people from Little Inlet, there's 6 of. There were 6 in the original task force, and then 8, 5, and 10. The Trade Association have 20.
So if we get the trade association on our side, we have a chance.
I think the Trade Association is on our side.
They are.
Yeah.
Or not.
They are or they are not?
Well, that's a good question. As you guys move and close in these ranks, there's a number of sort of flips and pushes and pins, and you see that about half of the Trade Association people have been subdued, and one of the task forces has been pinned against the wall. It's a stalemate there, but of a different sense. In terms of you guys, you've basically just shifted positions. Things are at a stalemate. Henny, you are actively applying heavy pressure to Chet, and he's sitting there like whimpering, like, yeah, come on, holy shit. Fuck. That being said, you feel another blade against the base of your throat. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see it's Marquis.
Hmm.
Well, that's not good.
How close is he to me?
Yeah, okay.
Who?
The guy with the blade against Henny's throat.
Marquis is opposite you. It's you, Henny, Marquis.
Should I splash water, the poison water at him? Maybe that would just aggravate things, though.
I love the idea that you're basically sitting there with a wine glass and go, yes, Henny is under attack. Let me throw my drink at him.
It's poisoned.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I guess I don't actually know that.
We assume that it is poisoned.
Yeah, we're assuming.
Because I feel like the problem is my gut reaction to someone putting a knife in my throat is, shit. He just walked up and did it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are supposed to be watching my back. Fuck. Okay.
I was watching your back.
I guess he came from the front. Okay.
You guys see that there's a ship docking at port down at the end of that road. You can see that it has distinctive sails. White, red, and green.
how is that distinctive for us? Do I recognize it? Because I don't immediately recognize it out of character.
That's Void Bay, one of the nations nearby.
Might have to mute if the dog is going.
Yeah, it was just a train going by.
Okay.
Okay, I have a knife to my throat. Dang, what's the role to like? I guess it's sort of a combat thing, but Salas used to do it all the time, where he would swing somebody in the way of a something. Is that an option?
Yeah, that would be Grace.
Okay.
You do have a boy grappled.
I do have a boy grappled, and I guess I'm being really rude to him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, thank God, that's a good one. That's 18.
He just like slowly lifts up Chet and puts his neck to the knife.
All right.
Now, is that technically a grappling check, or is it the grappling check bonus from Knave?
It's an opposed grapple.
Yeah.
The same way you could as an off turn.
Okay,
in
so
combat.
that's a 18 plus 5. So 23.
Yep. You roll, Chet yelps out. You hear a crunch. You don't think you broke anything, just probably pulled something. And the blade ends up against his throat. In that quarter second, Marquis goes to point the weapon at someone else, pauses. Everyone else has an off turn.
Hey, Ilding, salt. Wait, shit, that's not how Pig Latin works. Ilding, say. I'll say.
I'm so worried. I'm like maybe we can talk our way out of this, but I guess it doesn't look like it. Okay, can I just fucking whip a bomb at someone?
Well, actually, now that I say it, maybe you're right. Maybe that isn't the best way to go here, but I feel like we don't have a lot of options.
Is there a group of the opposers that is... Where is my character sheet? I have to look. What kind of stuff do I have on me?
I'm going to give you guys a layout. So basically, imagine a big Y. The bottom wing is going down towards the docks, and that is where you can now see that there are soldiers coming from Void Bay. The trade association is between there and you, and from alleys on either side of the street, they are engaged with 2 of the task forces.
Okay.
You guys are right in front of the marketplace, and coming out of alleys, there's basically 2 halves of the original task force that was going after you. There's then another task force that has come out from some of the nearby buildings, and they're pointing weapons at people who seem to be up in the buildings, and basically all around this central marketplace, out of the windows and doorways and stuff, there's people with firearms coming out from behind cover, and those are the people from Little Inlet.
And
however, very important, however, because this is going to come into play. Do you guys want to finish off your off turns real quick?
I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to do anything.
All right.
And can you at least look around the market for like a bomb shot?
To look around the market.
No, I'm joking. I just thought it'd be funny if you saw there's a bomb shot. I throw a bomb at the bomb shop, and it's
I'm gonna nuke the town.
I'm gonna nuke it. Oh, you guys weren't there for that campaign, but it came a running meme. Hey, go into a bar and yell, "Hey, is anything in this town flammable?" Buddy, all the houses are wooded. You're under arrest. God, I don't like this. This is bad.
Well, Henry's made a decision. Vesta's made a decision. Reggie?
Reggie's just holding his ground. He genuinely is like, if we try to escape, we can't do that. We need like some sort of smoke screen in order to get away from these guys. As soon as we do this, they're gonna go into attack and engage, and he's just like, nope.
Actually, there is one thing I'd like to do as this is happening before whatever horrible thing you've planned for us happens. I am panicked. I am stressed. I look over at Trunk for some reassurance.
You look back at Trunk, and you just see like a statuesque stone. His eyes are almost nothingness, like a void. He's just staring dead forward with a still gaze.
I copy his gaze.
Looks good, Trunk. I will copy.
All right. You see that the scuffle continues between the task forces and the battalion from Void Bay. Or, sorry, not the battalion from Void Bay, the trade association. The battalion moves back and they take cover positions further down that road. As that happens, the trade association seems to be getting overwhelmed by the task force.
Okay, so to clarify,
you guys in your group have started overwhelming your opponents. Absolution and Elbjorn have shifted towards keeping Dreadnought at weapon point. Steelfist has Garth, and Elmira has Marquis. Henny has Chet.
Henny has Chet.
Yep. Meanwhile, you notice that the people who had come out of buildings are, like the task force there, they've slowly raised their weapons. You don't see who's back there, but you reckon there's enough to outmatch the people there.
Okay.
Sorry, they're raising their weapons in surrender, and it's the task force that are overwhelming the citizens.
Yep.
Okay.
At which point, the citizens turn their weapons towards the task forces taking on the trade association. You guys have subdued the one that's against you. That being said, the battalion at Void Bay has guns trained all on you.
okay, so I wanted to clarify. Void Bay does not like us.
You have no prior association with Void Bay.
Okay.
They are a completely foreign government that you've never encountered before. You have never been on their soil.
Okay. Can we assume
You have a manifest.
We have a manifest, guys. It's fine. Guys,
We have
don't
a
shoot.
manifest.
We have a manifest.
We have a manifest. We're here legally.
Okay, so I just want to get the DM's temperature on this. It seems like the citizens are surrendering in a direction that we could run to.
The
They're being
task
overwhelmed.
force engaging the citizens is surrendering in a direction we could run to.
Okay, so how it stands right now. You guys are in the middle of the market with people subdued.
Yeah.
There's a task force at the back of the market, and they are surrendering their weapons. The people coming out of the buildings and windows, the citizens, are pointing their weapons at the task force. The task force, it's two of them combined, but they're one glob for the purpose of this. They're subduing the trade association, but now there's weapons trained on them, and Void Bay is pointing weapons at you.
So I say we head for the townspeople.
I think
And
that's a good idea.
make a hasty escape. You said there was some farmland?
Yes. You overhear a commander, it sounds like, from Void Bay going, "All right, can we get some sort of an explanation? Who's here doing what?"
Does he say that like while guns are firing, or is there like a brief pause?
It's still.
It's still. Okay, then I'm gonna speak up and be like, we're just delivering a shipment. Like we just got here.
Do you have a manifest?
Yes, we have manifests.
Everyone say dead still. Sending in a soldier to pick one up. Would you move your hand slowly to your pocket and take it out?
Okay. Do I have the manifest on me? I would like.
You're the goddamn leader of this expedition. You would keep that paperwork on you.
I take the
I'm
manifest.
going to say for dramatic effect, no matter what, it's on you.
I don't think Henny would let you go, like, leave the ship without it. Like,
Okay. I hand over the manifest.
All right. You take it out, and as you're holding it out and you see this soldier coming towards you, they move past the Task Force and Trade Association. Someone just wearing a helm looks like a dwarfborn. They hold out a hand. They quietly take it. Rip. Boru.
Nice. Boru.
I fucking knew it. As soon as you said dwarf form, I'm like, ah, fuck.
Oh, that's cute. You thought there was going to be due process.
Nice.
I think it's about time you put down your weapons. According to my math, I think we've got you outgunned. What do you think?
Can I grapple Boru?
You want to use your off turn for that?
I'm hoping that someone might create a distraction for me, but yes, I can think of nothing else to do in this situation.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
If you're gonna, are you serious?
Okay, here's what I'm doing with my off turn.
Okay.
I'm giving Vesta a pointed look, and I'm looking down at Vesta's belt where they keep the wilding salt. I'm looking back at her.
Vesta, you can interpret what that means.
Yes. Oh my good. How close is he to me? Like he's like
that
right
close. Yep, perfect range for exactly that.
Okay.
Like he's basically at a range where if you pulled a weapon, he would be out there, but he's in like gloating supervillain distance.
Okay. Man. Does wildling salt by itself do anything? Or do I have to add it to something?
Wilding salt by itself is the thing that makes the bad thing. Not the bad things per se. The interesting things happen.
Okay.
If you mix it with a bomb, it just makes it blow up, basically.
I throw it at Boru.
Okay. Penny, what's your off turn?
Well, it was going to be to grab Boru. I thought you'd throw it maybe to like the left or the right so that I would have a distraction. But since you're throwing it right at the fucker, I'm giving a signal to bolt while there's a big cloud of presumably smoke between us and the firing.
I throw it and turn and run.
Okay, Reg?
As soon as he sees the wilding salt go past him, he knows what's up. Because I have my weapon at Garth, right? Can I see a coin purse on Garth?
Yep.
I'm gonna snatch his coin purse and run.
Okay. So this isn't something you need delicate for. This is the sort of thing you can like...
I'm not being
right?
subtle.
As this happens, I'm going to play this out in slow motion. Okay. So you guys are up there with the shield wall. Vesta, your shield is like a kite shield, so your arm is actually hidden as you go. You get it, you get a good grip, you take aim, and then you whap it over the shield, and that's enough that in quick succession, there's glass shattering and a big puff of smoke. You hear Boru let out like a... You hear gunshots, you see light, you hear sound, there's spatterings of blood, and you hear the croaking of all of you guys moving to get behind cover in the market.
Oh, I mean...
Yeah, cover.
Cover, yes, but, like, I'm not staying to fight. I'm trying to get out of the situation, like...
All right, you guys hop back behind cover now that your enemies have been disengaged. Reggie, you have it in your hands. You got the coin purse, but it's empty. You have enough of a moment to look through, and inside you see there's a little sewn-in smiley face and nothing else.
That's fine.
Actually, wait a minute. You recognize this in some
There was a
vague
reason
way
I was grabbing it.
Yeah, you're not sure exactly why, but you recognize it. It's in your possession, and there's no time to communicate further.
Yeah.
As you look around, now that you're behind cover here in the market, you're looking towards the two Ys. You see that it looks like the people who were at gunpoint were taken down, And covering your escape, Henny, you see in this sort of cracking of smoke and gunshots moving towards you almost like in a V formation, there's a bunch of people you haven't seen in a while. And at the helm, sitting there going boom, load, boom, with a shotgun, you see Bea coming out of those buildings.
Oh.
Faya!
Man.
Faya!
Alongside Bea, you see Tiffany, Metalwell, Johnstone. You see that one mouse folk that like you had that weird other murder thing happen with on a gondola for some reason, and two complete strangers who are wielding weapons. And one of the Y intersections has, it looks like 12 people that you have never seen before in your fucking life, but they're firing on the Void Bay soldiers too. You can tell from the crackety 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 crack and the lack of sounds of people shuffling that presumably in your absence, the people behind you have been gunned down. You don't have time to look because, I mean, you're behind cover and it's gunfire. But from the sounds of things, Void Bay soldiers are approaching and they are unopposed. The firing has stopped coming out of the marketplace windows, but you can see that there are people darting from the alleyways towards where you're getting cover from other strangers.
Nice.
God damn it, what is she doing here?
I throw a firebomb at the Void Bay soldiers.
Reggie requests a firebomb.
I'm going to presume you have enough time that like Vesta lights one, passes one to Reggie, passes another one along, and there's things being thrown from behind cover, and there's hell raining down from behind. At this point, you have enough cover and enough of an opening that Bea and company start motioning you guys to go towards the rest of the soldiers. Well, strangers, really. You see people who don't seem to have any particular affiliation with weapons who are helping you out in this situation.
Follow Bea's lead.
Yeah, if it's good enough for Bea, it's good enough for me.
All right. You guys bolt out of the marketplace in one big group. You have no idea who these people are. You've never met them in your life, but there's now a whole bunch of strangers who are on your ass. Henny, you don't have time to talk to Bea. You're running, but as you turn around, you see Boru sort of clawing his way back up from the ground, and half his face has melted into a bright purple. Everything he's wearing is purple for some reason. You just see him raising a hand towards you as you guys start bolting down the street. You have enough headway, and the street winds enough that you start making your way out into the woods. You guys are running. What do you do?
What do we do?
Is there anyone else running with us?
You have a quick count. You see that your entire party is running. Bea and company are running.
Okay.
The strangers are running, and the townies are running.
Okay, that's all I gave a shit about. Is Bea, if Bea was running too, because I am not leaving her behind.
Yeah. Just keep going. I'm just gonna follow them. See where they're going.
Yeah, keep running. This is such a small island. There's not really another port, is there, that we've seen?
Well, no, they must have a ship somewhere, because they were waiting. They were here before us. They must have a ship somewhere.
I asked
it would be logically consistent. You would have needed to hide 2-3 ships on this island, honestly.
Yeah.
What did you say? You cut out there.
I asked one of the villagers, if there's any other ports on this island. As we're running, just
You hear the villager going, we might do some crimes. And at that point, you guys turn around a corner. You're here in the woods, but you see that there's a number of trees that have hatchet marks in them. You run towards one, and then you're pointed in a direction. You guys zigzag through the brush in places where it's been conveniently cleared. You quickly make distance while there's people who haven't found these clues sort of getting stopped by it and trying to hack their way through. There's gunshots, but they can't reach you. You hear the cracking of them whipping into the nearby trees, and there's a few arrows that whiz past you and embed themselves in the brush, but you guys are making distance. Before too long, you open onto what looks like a pirate cove. There's barrels of some sort, but it's a hidden cove that seems to be like there's weapon racks along the side. There's like a card table with some like knocked over beer bottles and some ships.
Do these ships, just at a first glance as we're rounding the bay, kind of my action as we're sprinting here is, do these ships look ready to go, or were these people suddenly summoned here by the sound of gunfire?
These are ready to go.
Okay.
Should we get on a ship? What's Bea doing?
You see Bea going for one of the ships.
I'm going for that one too.
Yeah.
What are we going to
Bea.
do about our heads? That's months of progress.
When you say heads, at this point, you guys are all getting towards boats, and this group of strangers are going for another one and go, you have heads? You have heads on your boat?
Yeah.
On our boat.
Yes.
Cannons. We've got cannons. We've got it. You guys go another way. We split.
Okay.
At this point, he goes, and he points at Corvo, and he goes, Corvo? Corvo goes, nah. And he goes, Firenze, remember me. We're friends. And he just runs to the other ship and starts, you see that the crew starts just like unlatching ropes.
Nice. Nice to see there are people on our team.
At this point, you guys have all clambered onto a ship that's conveniently sized for you guys, and start getting in. Bea and crew are starting to take down the ropes. Trunk and Steelfist are helping out, and you guys are all readying your weapons off the edge. You manage to get wind in your sail just as they're all sort of flooding into the bay, firing off ineffectively in your direction.
Okay.
At this point, Bea first goes towards Henny and like leans in. Would Henny be down for that or no?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So desperately down.
It's fine and dandy. It's nice and romantic. Right after that happens, she pulls away and looks at Vesta and goes, who the fuck were they?
Wait. Who the fuck are who? Them? Oh, I don't know. Boru? Boru's another life drinker.
No, we know about... No, who are the random people who just showed up?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, now there's a lot of random people that showed up. What I've gathered is there's the Trade Association, Void Bay, led by Boru, a life drinker, and a task force led by a weird multiple man in armor.
At this point, you guys reach the mouth of the bay, and it's getting very, very foggy.
And
At this
somehow
point-
we didn't even try to make enemies with them.
So Steelfist is there behind the wheel, and he's going, Porter starboard, Porter starboard!
Fuck if we know.
Lucky starboard! And he turns. And the mist gets dense. Steelfist just is sitting there, white knuckling, just forward, trying to see the coast off the side of the ship. Before too long, the mist starts to break, and you guys pull around one side of the island. There's another ship that seems to be engaging in pursuit. There's another one going the other way around the island, but you see it get shredded by cannon fire before these guys start moving in to close the bay. There's no insignia on their ship, but you guys are on a bigger ship than you had last, with a bunch of old friends again. And a bunch of... Well, it looks like the civilians went with the other people.
Okay.
Okay, we need to get the heads.
So, what did that guy say again? Did he say that he was going to go get the heads?
He said he had cannons.
When you say cannons, you see them fire off, crack, 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 and you see your ship start to sink into the bay.
My horses.
We sold those.
They sold the horses.
No, we sold all but 2 to pull the cart. The cart is now sinking too.
Steelfist just sort of like wipes his eye. You guys are aware that like Draconians don't cry. They don't have like tear ducts. Like they don't. Well, they have tear ducts, but they don't have that instinct. So this is entirely theater. And he just goes, I loved Horse Fist.
Does Steelfist have his stuff? Does he have his book?
What? I always have my shit. Look.
Okay.
And he you see him pull out from his back pocket the book. You see him pull out a bag of rice that was stuffed into his shirt. He goes, I've been through this shit 16 times. Come on. And he shoves it back in.
I'm just making sure. I lost something precious to me. The tall size bed. That tall size bed was beautiful.
Bea, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what's Bea doing here?
We agreed it was dangerous.
Yeah. Bea nods and goes, so we got more people.
Fair enough.
Now, why didn't we think of that?
Now, to be fair, we have been... Every time that I try, you sort of shut me down.
I'm still worried about these heads. Who are the heads now in the water? Did somebody go get the heads? And then...
I could go get the heads if I can get close enough.
We just need to... Are the heads under the water right now?
You have no way of knowing that. By now, you guys are at full sail and you're gaining distance, and there's a void-based ship behind you.
Yeah, I won't be able to go and get them like that. If we're choosing the escape option. If we're choosing the fight option, then we about to do some Pirates of the Caribbean fighting on boats, and I hope the ropes can support my weight.
Well, we can't. I mean, we can't go back. I look at Bea and I say, we can't go back. We have to keep going. Hopefully, those heads are still locked in a box that is now at the bottom of the bay. Boru seemed, pretty dead. He's going to reform soon, but I don't think his soldiers know about his sort of situation, his dark machinations. We might be able to circle back around, but right now I think that escaping the void-based ship is top priority.
Yeah.
At that point, Trunk leans in and sort of chuckles, and he goes, low pressure. And he points and he goes, we're slightly faster, and they don't have a forward cannon. If they turn to fire us, they're gonna miss. We're too far away. We just have to sail straight. And he just sort of chuckles, and he goes, and he pulls out the maps. Where are we heading?
Fuck, where are we headed?
Shall
forward.
we pull up the map?
No, fuck the map. What? Who are these pirates? I'm assuming. Do they know about life drinkers? Are they down to tumble? How did
the band know that we were...
How did you know we were in trouble? How did you...
At that point, John speaks up and he goes, it's actually a funny story. We knew each other prior for completely unrelated reasons. And then and he points at the two people. He goes, that's Gunner and Sniper. The nicknames don't work in a bigger company. And both of them sort of chuckle. And he goes, they're good guys. Me and Clover go way back, actually. And then it was just a conversation overheard in a bar. We met up. We started actually hunting off after Chet and Dreadnought and all of them. And then we tailed them to this island. And we didn't know any of the rest of this shit was going to go down. I'm Don, by the way. I don't know if and he points and he goes, some of you remember, some of you, I don't. People died, right?
They always seem to do around us, yes.
Lots of people die all the time.
Doesn't matter. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Do I get a mood debuff for observed decaying corpse?
This isn't RimWorld, all right? Because honestly, you would have gotten a minus 20 debuff. It would have been observed decaying corpse times 20. You're breaking. Suddenly Vest is just eating all of the food.
If this was RimWorld, you guys would have been snapping left, right, and center so far.
I'm snapping right now. The situation is not under control.
Remember the madness system that Will had us test pilot? we would have all gotten
It's just so much better when it's organic.
Yeah.
You could almost write a whole second system of yikes things that Will has removed from early drafts of Bloodwine.
Like the time I spent an
forbidden
entire
texts,
session
and they're
worrying
all
about worrying about my
Sorry, I
character
missed
getting
that one.
diarrhea.
Yep.
Yep.
An entire compilation. It's like none of this worked.
Hey, I enjoyed the session where I spent the entire time going like, should I go into the bathroom? I know I'm going to be sick at some point today. Let's go. Let's go into the public bathhouse. This won't end horribly at all. When you embraced the chaos, it was great.
I love how, man, we're so off topic now. But I love how in like our video you could watch the sun go down.
Yeah, it was great. I was enjoying it.
We don't even have any lights in this room.
Well, you just moved, so I mean, growing pains.
You deliberate. I'll be right back.
So, we actually live at a complex owned by the same company, and so like, are you guys in the same situation where you go and you check out everything and there's like overhead lights and switches, but for some reason the living room is completely unlit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Living rooms just are unlit.
I didn't realize that was a thing, just because like I guess for some reason I've lived in places where like an overhead light's been installed, but like
That's a lot better.
You guys have no idea how close I came to ruining this stream because we have our internet plugged into the same outlet as the lamp was plugged into. So I grabbed it and pulled, and it came within a couple millimeters of completely unplugging before I realized my mistake and jammed it back in.
It's okay, because we now have the Gabe and Chelsea done goofed picture. Thanks to Will.
It happens so often.
I mean, let's be real. This is just much like the content of our show. This stream is just a rolling sequence of things going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Live and you learn.
But it's different every time.
Okay, so you want to go
Okay,
to the
well-
map and decide our next move, our next course of action?
That is a good point. Deciding the next course of action, because if we did have things start to fall apart, then like it would have been a good time for it. Going, okay, well, we had technical difficulties, but the big thing happened.
The big thing happened. The important stuff's happened, and for some reason it's not. One sec. Let me just. Whoop.
Oh, oh.
It's not going up. It's not doing the thing. The map's
Oh,
broke.
is this the technical difficulty?
This is the technical difficulties, boys.
I kind of what Vesta kind of is going to offer is doing a big circle to like lose the Void Bay boat, come back to the bay, check the sunken ship for the heads.
That's actually that's not a bad plan. I hate it because do you know how many criminals I've caught because they returned to the scene of the crime? But you're right. I don't think we have any other option.
But
At this point, it seems like actually a lot of the people on the boat aren't inclined to that idea. They're all kind of shaking their heads.
yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking of it, like Kree has control over animals, right? Like he's just gonna get out, and then he's gonna free what's his face. You know?
At that point, Baez says something and goes, "Plus, I mean, don't you have to bury a hatchet in the guy's head every like 6 hours? It won't be long."
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be long.
I can't go and retrieve the heads if they're at the bottom of the ocean and we got a ship chasing after us. I'm not that fast.
Yeah, no, we would have to lose them first, which might take a couple days.
Unless you want to go on a solo mission, but it would still take you longer than about 6 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Maru's probably moving at this point.
Void Bay.
Red and Blue speak up. Corvo's standing nearby but not saying anything. Blue goes, "Well, there's a lot of life triggers out there. There's hundreds. Maybe it's time we cut our losses, try and gain some distance."
I think it's a good plan.
I don't. It's months and months of. Okay. You're right.
To be fair, they're going to have to start from the bottom too, right?
Well,
Especially-
certainly Lord Vulcan can't say, hey, I became a thing again. I'm alive again.
Yeah, because, word has gotten out that he's been totally decapitated. If he just shows up one day, people will be like, okay. But I don't know. I think we should go after some other life drinkers.
Hi, it's me, Vulcan's son. Incomprehensible noises.
Elon Musk's kid's name. Just, I feel so bad because it's one of those things where it's like a being has been born, someone exists now, and this is like someone who's not even a month old, like days old, who has this name. This isn't someone who has any agency in this. This is someone who has been conscious for days.
3 days. 3 days. It was born. They were born on Monday.
Well, much like the Hyperloop, I'm sure that his plan will go nowhere and the kid will just get like a normal name, like
Elon Jr.
I don't even know what his name was. I'm totally out of the loop on this one.
Oh,
the Hyperloop.
It's okay. So it's spelled X space the AE character when it's like joined.
Yeah.
Space A-12, like A12. And
Their
it's like
favorite airplane as a couple.
yeah, it's pronounced X Ash
Archangel.
Yeah.
That was a meme that I read that it was pronounced X Ash Archangel.
No, that's it.
He liked a comment that said that.
The problem is you could also pronounce it Kyle.
That was a meme. I don't know about that.
No, I think I'm just going to call him Kyle from now on because that seems kinder.
Wouldn't it be Xyle? Like, wouldn't
Yeah,
it be
Xyle,
something like
technically.
Xyle? You can go real religious sounding with it and say it's pronounced Xyel.
Xyel, yes.
The thing is, this is the thing that bugs me, is like if you have a parent that's going to name you something like that, and like someone like Elon Musk, like I don't think he's putting on a character the way that like supposedly Boris Johnson does. Like that's unfiltered Elon, and like that is, I am worried about that household. That doesn't seem like a healthy place. Like it's one thing to be like, haha, Elon Musk over Twitter, but like honestly, I don't like the dude's ness. Like
there's a level of digging into somebody's past that's maybe a little unreasonable, but his ex-wife did say that on their wedding day, on their first dance as a married couple, he whispered in her ear, I am the alpha in this relationship. And she thought he was joking, but he weren't.
And it's like, it's disappointing to see all the memes go around that are like basically making fun of the kid, which it's like, strictly speaking, that's a fine line where it's like, well, if we look at the joke, who's the butt of the joke? Is the butt of the joke the kid for having the weird name, or is the butt of the joke Elon Musk for being an insane fucking person? Like,
yeah.
I think the internet just has a love for him, and like you can see as he goes more and more outlandish and does more and more weird stunts that like he's losing people. Like more and more people are going, oh, Elon Musk is kind of out there. Oh, Elon Musk's out there, but not in like a fun, eccentric way. And then like, oh, I don't like that Elon Musk has flamethrowers anymore. I don't like the fact that this guy has this much money, and I don't like the fact that this guy has this much power.
Yeah,
I didn't like the fact that he thought the Hyperloop was a good idea.
Still on the Hyperloop train, huh?
Anyway, where are we going? Where are we going? Should we just go somewhere?
Great question. John, do you have any ideas?
Recommendations?
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 Well, and we don't need the sectors per se. If you look at the world map, they just sort of wave and smear like an entire coastline and go, that's out.
Yeah.
Yep. Our original plan was to go south to attack Boru, and it seems that he got sort of the opposite inclination and came up north to attack us. So that sort of put everything out of loop. I'm anxious. Bay is here, so now I'm horny. I might go take a nap. I don't know what's going on.
John points at the map and goes, well, strictly speaking, and he points like from island to island, and Corvo already is nodding. He goes, word by bird's going to take a real long time, which means if we chart a little bit further southward, that's normally a good smuggling route. We can get through there. The boat's going to have to go. And then we can make our way around the far coastline, and there's not going to be any patrols there, but it's going to be some wild places. At this point, Red points downwards, and Steelfist and Trunk seem to be pointing that same way, and they go, Steelfist goes, or we go through the mouths of fucking hell and go right through that dangerous channel, past the Isles, past Soth, but then once we're there in those waters, we're in the clear. And strictly speaking, as long as we can just not get seen, we'll be okay, but that's a gamble.
And I look at Bea and I say, I would rather take less gambles. Apparently, it was a risk to deliver some lemons. So, I feel like anything.
Point, when you say deliver some lemons, Bea goes, what?
It's a long story. You remember how...
Anyway, we're not in a rush to get anywhere. I honestly think that we should take the safe route as well.
As you say, we're not in a rush to get anywhere. You look back at the ship that's been like behind you for a while, and by now it's already sort of fading into the horizon just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I stay the course. Continue saying what I was saying.
So what were you saying?
Oh, we're not in a rush to get anywhere, so I think we should take the safe route. That's what I'm saying. That's my vote. If anybody else votes differently.
It's exactly because we have this slight advantage that I think we should push it and keep ahead. The whole point is that they've been able to follow us. So we have to move faster than they can follow. So I'm putting my hat in for the Steelfist Hellmaw route.
At this point, Albiorn is sitting there sort of almost more angry than anything, he looks like, and he goes, you got to admit, it's almost poetic, right? They always get us when we're trying to just get by. Whenever we go for the attack, we seem to pull it off.
Well, they're not really used to being opposed, so I guess that makes sense. They're used to putting people down, and that's what they're good at, right?
They don't expect to be hunted. Mm-hmm. They're used to being the aggressors. They don't want to be the...
And again, they have a lot of resources. It was one thing when they were hiring mercenaries and getting assassins after us, but that was a nation's flag. That's the actual military.
Okay. Dangerous route. I changed my mind.
I look at Bea. I look her in the eyes. What am I seeing back from Bea? Is it fear? Is it confidence? Is it lust?
It's steel.
Then I steal my gaze to you and I nod. Dangerous road.
Dangerous road. Ghost ship.
No, we specifically do not have the ghost ship anymore.
Ghost ship.
Corvo signs. Is anybody going to be interpreting for the people who don't sign?
Oh, well, I'll interpret.
Okay, so interpreting, Corvo relays the message that you're a well-coordinated team. The only consistent thing seems to be that the smaller the group, the harder you are to find. It's real easy to slip in and out when you're not a big mob like this. Maybe it's better to sort of disperse into the wind, but keep in contact.
I see. Set out a group of tasks and send the best people for the task.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea too.
I think it's a good idea. I'm sick. I'm sick of this. We spent months to get 2 heads, and we lose them like that. I think we need to plan. We need to be thinking bigger. We need to plan bigger. We need to hit them while they won't expect it, because you're absolutely right. Every time that we deal in methods that they are used to, we get absolutely demolished, right? We say we're going to lay low. They're used to that. They're used to people getting scared. I think that if we're going to do this, we need to hit them all at once. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if there's some sort of cure we could concoct, if there's a meeting that we could infiltrate and get them all at once. I don't know, but the way that we've been going about this isn't new to them.
Absolution speaks up. He goes, "That's a good point, Henny. We've been thinking with the sword and not with the pen."
Exactly. You don't clean up the streets by going after individual criminals. That's never how it worked. Because it was never about that. It was, you got to go after the corruption. You got to go after the people with the deep pockets. That's how you fix things, and that's what we're gonna fix.
That's
things.
what we're doing.
When you say that, Rollins just sort of chuckles and goes, "In theory."
In theory.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think that it's worth it to go after another life drinker. I think that what we need to do is we need to have a solid plan. We have a coordinated group. Like, we've got to figure out a different angle to approach this from.
At that point, Red nods and he goes, "It's like the myth of Sisyphus. You're just pushing the boulder up. Like, there's got to be some way that we can circumvent this. There has to be some lateral way we can come out this problem. But I don't know what it would be."
I don't know a lot about magic, but they have to be drawing it from somewhere.
I think it would be logical to maybe investigate ways to suppress the life drinker in them. Put them down for good.
At this point, Blue looks to you, Reggie, and goes, "Well," and he gestures back to Henny and Vesta and goes, "They are, as far as we've been able to identify, mortal mages. With pacts, they can be gained and lost, but little is known about the origins of mortal magic, so I'm not sure what approach to take."
Time to study more moral magic, I think.
Yeah.
Gotta write my
Be time
PhD.
for that. Yeah, can we get the PhD in life drinking?
Have you heard the legend of Syndrome?
Of syndrome, yes, syndrome.
When everyone's a life drinker, nobody's a life drinker.
When nobody can die, everyone can die.
That's it, boys. We're gonna fight death.
So what are you guys thinking for this approach?
Well, for one, I do think we need to take down a life drinker, so we at least have something that we can study. And I think that we need to just not back down when they keep attacking us, because it never goes our way. We calm down for a little bit, and they fucking bombard us with an armada and make us escape across the entire land. We have a nice little jaunt through a forest and catch a murderous criminal, and they continue to hunt us after that. Like,
the thing
no
is,
matter where
I don't
we
think
go.
I don't think we need to capture one. And
So Henny, you get interrupted by John, who goes to Vesta and goes, "A sample, you say?" And he takes out the life drinker knife and passes it to Vesta and goes, "From Leland, with love."
Nice. I take it. I'm like, wow.
Take the fucking
What a
knife.
guy. That boy,
I don't want this fucking
Roll
knife
understand.
Gabe, why are you laughing so much about this?
I think it's because Gabe knows what I'm pulling.
Oh, okay.
What are my numbers?
So
That's you.
that's me.
Oh, God.
9. 9 for
9.
understand.
You've known Leland a long time. Your first thought is, what a guy, and then it sort of matures and you go, what a guy, it's Leland. He's an asshole. He wouldn't give us this knife.
So someone stole the knife from Leland? Nice.
I mean,
Look,
yeah.
Leland wouldn't cooperate, and me and Gabe have spoken at length about the fact that Leland is just going to a town and being a knife maker, and if anybody comes in and says life drinker or anything to do about becoming an adventurer, he just says fuck off and slams the door.
Honestly, someone probably found the knife in the garbage. Like,
Yeah.
he has given up. Really.
So the thing that I said to the viewers beforehand was basically describing my GMing notes, the thing that I briefly flashed you guys too quick for you to read.
Oh,
This
now
is
I
actually
understand the
basically-
pentagram of death. It makes so much sense now.
Yep, it's a literal diagram of death, basically. Oh, how did I jump off onto that tangent? I swear it was somehow related to what's going on. Right, the thing I told the players was basically that there were a few slip-ups and little mistakes that you guys have made along the way, so a lot of this stuff is just like actually wrong place, wrong time.
Damn it.
The lemon was a big
time,
one.
but the time scale works out for somebody going all the way the fuck up to your hometown, trying to get the knife, being shut down, and then going, fuck this dude, just stealing it, and then going all the way back down. I calculated.
That's amazing.
Fuck this guy. Leland.
Leland. Well, the worst part is because this is the second person who's come up to try to get Leland to help, and
So
he gets
you didn't
progressively
want this
angrier. Like, if one more person comes up, like, they might not come back alive. Leland is just God.
That fucking dude, you know?
He's just so fucking done.
It's also fun because Leland's character didn't really come into sharp focus until a couple sessions in. So you listen to the early sessions. Leland wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
Leland, you gotta help this guy. It's a
Yeah,
quest.
he's so enthusiastic. And then, like, after I think it was the fight with the alpha bear wolf, that Leland's just like, oh, this is fucked.
I don't like this.
It's really funny because you can watch the transition from like the beginning of the whole series, like Leland being a bright-eyed young adventurer wanting to see the world, like naive, like, I'll go collect this shipment and make some friends along the way. And meanwhile, Vesta being the one who's like, well, Salas wants to go, and he's my brother, and I don't really like it here that much, even though it's okay. I guess I'll be an adventurer. And now, Vesta's the literal leader, and Leland is so jaded by this entire experience that he had to have a, like, extremely valuable tool against the life drinkers stolen from him due to non-compliance, and Salas was turned into a statue.
Yeah, Salas was turned into a statue, and that is horrifying.
The only person who hasn't been drastically altered is Elbjorn, and that's just because he kind of wanted to go and cut heads off, and now he's cutting heads off.
He started as an alcoholic who wanted to cut heads off and became an alcoholic who wanted to cut heads off with a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a joke in there about getting head.
And Elbjorn's got like 3 because he's decapitated so many people. He's decapitated Kree twice. He's given
I
Kree head
thought-
twice.
I thought you knew some secret GM knowledge about Elgorn that the rest of us didn't know.
No, he's just been giving head to the life drinkers a lot. Like he's got the
Been
highest.
taking head.
That's true.
I hate in a sexual context. I hate
Giving
that.
and receiving. And I'm just going to run
Yeah.
the camera for a little while if you guys want to think about what you're doing next, because I need to have information to GM a plot.
Okay, so
Okay. We have the knife.
we have the knife. We're taking the danger route.
Leland, what a guy.
What a
an
guy.
asshole.
What an asshole.
have-
So we can go to a safe port find the nearest life drinker, and
Murder them.
Get immediately barred from that port. Wander the next couple of kingdoms.
Why don't we just go to a port we're already barred from?
See, now I love this plan because the plan that you out of character, I love this plan because the plan that you've set up is we go to a port that we are banned from, which means that stepping onto it is an act of aggression. Yeah. We use the knife to point us towards the nearest life drinker, and we decapitate them. No plan. We don't look where we're going. Nope. We just storm in a ship full of pirates, decapitate him, and leave.
Just a random dude. A random dude.
Like, he has guards. Oh, fine. Like, we will kill them. Like, imagine if we did that to Vulcan. We showed up. We had a knife that said that guy's a life drinker.
Oh.
So we just went in and decapitated him. Like, we went up in front of that whole crowd of people and just said, sorry, we're terrorists.
Give me your head.
Here's a thought, though. Here's a thought. Why didn't we throw the heads in the rift? Why haven't we been just chucking the heads in the rift?
We would have had to get pretty close.
We would have had to get very close. Like, I think it would be risky.
That's true. But, like, I imagine we could probably chuck it a good distance, and then it would be like, maybe they survive, maybe they don't. But either way, it's going to take them a long time to get to shore.
I do like it. I do like that idea.
Yeah.
So, Will, you aren't listening, but Chelsea came up with the greatest, boldest, out-of-character plan that I think I've ever heard in my life, which is we show up to a port that we're already banned from, and we use the knife to find the nearest life drinker and kill them right then and there, and then leave within, like, 3 hours. Which is the funniest thing I've ever heard, because it's such a bad plan, and yet it's so stupidly simple. Like, how could it go wrong?
Everything, every step.
No, because
we're already barred from the land. What are they going to do? Double execute us?
The thing is, the instant we step on shore, we're already in combat mode. Like, this isn't a plan where things could go horribly wrong. It's no, we're making things go wrong right out of the bat, right out of the gate, and we slaughter our way. It's like in a video game when you're playing an RPG and you just give up on the plot, and you're like, okay, time to just slaughter everybody in our path to get to the objective.
No, Vesta would not suggest that.
And I think that's a horrible plan because Penny's all about planning.
Yeah.
But, like, man.
Will, as a GM, has basically your entire crew going, well, you don't just dock there and start killing. You just do a quick assault. But the part of me that's been playing Wolfenstein for the past week is like, no, if you run fast enough and shoot fast enough and get to the right cover at the right time, you can kill like 100 people.
Yeah, like just remember, you take the rocket launcher, point it at the ground, shoot it, and you get the rocket jump. You can jump over the walls and evade anyone that, is too tough.
Will?
Just Doom style.
Yeah.
Oh my, I'm going to build an alchemical rocket jumper, and you can't stop me. I'm going to build force potions. You have to blast myself around.
No, build force boots. Such that when you, like, click your heels or something like that, put a little bit of elemental in them. All of a sudden, it's just like boom, force on the ground.
Is Maud dead? I want to ask about that.
No one here knows.
Nobody knows.
Yikes.
Well, if she wants her lemons, I guess she can fish them out of the. They were in.
Sorry, Maud. We tried her.
Right. They're in standard crates, like.
They're underwater.
Well, lemons float. I roll science to see if lemons float.
Some would.
Lemons float. They're mostly water.
Yeah, sure. It's fine.
I would mean that they don't float.
It would mean that they have the same buoyancy as water. So it's if the rind floats, I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah. Let's see.
I may have just alt-tabbed and Googled that because I do not know the answer. And now I do.
Limes float.
That's a 22 for do lemons float.
22?
Yes.
Lemons float, limes don't.
Hey, you sure it was
Fun
lemons that we... Maud set us up. She knew. That's why she sent us to get lemons instead of the classic lime, the superior citrus fruit.
Now, excuse me. I think you'll find that the orange is the superior citrus.
When you say orange, basically at the same time, like half the crew are just like, yeah, we're orange.
Well, okay, fine.
You have like an orange with a little bit of champagne in the morning. That's just beautiful.
We still haven't decided what we're doing.
Okay, Henny's plan is we split up and we start researching. The logic is, having worked as a cop, everything has a trail. These people didn't just wake up one day knowing how to do this. They learned it from somewhere. And if we can find that somewhere, we might be able to figure out how to stop them.
Well, we should have a group that takes the knife and tries to track them and, like, get the information on them. Find out who they are.
Me and Blue will do that. And anybody else who has any ritual.
Sure. Like, do we want to set up strike teams? Because I think that we want to arm ourselves with knowledge.
And then we want to arm ourselves with murder.
Because Vesta's not going the knowledge route. Vesta's going the let's figure out who these boys are route. Look at that. One mental.
Man, Will sitting there like, so their plan involves splitting the party.
Yeah. He's just like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? Reggie doesn't really care.
I know exactly how I would do it.
Reggie doesn't really care which.
It'd be a good set of streams.
All right.
Like, because honestly, in character, Henny's plan is to hit the books, hit records, hit temples, hit anyone that might possibly know this secret, and just learn it. You know Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they're like, we need to find out their secret, and they go to a big library. That's like Henny's dream fantasy about this.
Okay.
Except for the part where I guess Bea is Appa in this situation, which is bad. But you know.
You look behind the boat and you see that the Venkram sail is gone. Now is when you're going to be able to peel off in a different direction. Are you going to go towards the Freedlands or south past the mainland?
I want to roll politics real quick. Where would I find ancient knowledge? Because Freedlands ain't it. Unless it's super it. Yeah, that's a
There's just a really
20.
giant book that the Giants used. That
Well,
is
right.
just
I
like,
don't know. Maybe the Giants have archives or something. Maybe the Freedlands are like secretly full of historians. I don't know, but
What'd you roll for politics? I didn't hear what did you roll for politics?
a 20.
A 20. Basically, if you go down that area between Newtown and Westwatch, like that's a major trade corridor. You're almost guaranteed to get caught, but you could go down all the way past the coast and through to the Empire to the east, where you guys aren't wanted for any charges as far as you know. And they would have a lot of very old libraries. There would be the other place you immediately think of for very old libraries is either Venkram and Hammerhold or Westwatch, both of which are not good ideas for you right now.
Yeah, that first one sounds like a good plan, and I'm also going to be working on my shapeshifting on the way there. Just maybe I'll be able to like
Going east.
Yeah.
However,
However,
Corvo points out to you that the best plan if you want to go dark and build a safe house is to go into the Freedlands, because from there you can get a lot of information just via correspondence.
Oh, Corvo, you're so smart. I signed back to him. Corvo, you're so smart. You're the smartest of us all.
to the Freedlands.
Man, I feel bad for Corvo because he's so smart. People can't always interact with him, and he's reduced to writing things.
To the Freedlands. And then
Corvo.
we split up, question mark?
I express this sadness for Corvo that sometimes people must think that he's not as intelligent as he is because he's incapable of speech, and that's really sad.
Corvo signs back, yikes.
Reggie puts an arm around you and goes, speech is not the marker of intelligence.
Some people are stupid, and they're rude and mean.
For
It's just gonna
instance,
be like, so
you
we're
should
going to
probably
the
stop talking.
It's just like, I feel bad for him.
So we're going to the Freedlands? Is Freedlands, safe house, maybe split up, send Henny off to the east to get some ancient knowledge, maybe send some people who aren't wanted on charges of death to places that have
Not wanted on charge of death is good.
Yes. Right here. So maybe split up after that. Freelance, set up a
sounds
base,
good.
split up, figure out some knowledge, get some heads, study, figure out how to become a boy.
How to become a
What?
boy? I'm a real boy.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I'm still, I'm still,
That's what I'm saying to the group.
I'm still sad about Corvo.
Corvo's not sad about Corvo.
No, he's not. But he must have all these good ideas,
And then he can express them with sign language.
He is it must just be harder for him. That's all, and I feel bad for that.
Reggie's just solidly like, let's just get a move on. Let's go.
So
Okay.
while Henny's sitting there sort of bloviating and turns her back for a moment and is facing away, Corvo signs International Shadow Diplomat before Henny turns back and looks to Corvo again.
Okay, to the Freelance.
All right, in that case, it's a little bit earlier than we usually close, but I'm going to cut it there so that I have time to prepare, but also because, session momentum.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to catch how this goes down, I'm thinking another big time skip for the sake of, I'm not going to have you guys, do a bunch of, cross-continent traveling. We've already done a lot of that, and it's nice enough at the scale it's at. But when we are back, it's going to be at twitch.tv/Mr. Croton, the later half of 7 when we usually start. You can find our episodes at youtube.com/Mr. Croton, and the rules are at bloodwine.fandom.com right now. Got anything to plug?
Next stream is going to be Sims on Saturday. It's going to be
Ooh, Sims.
Yeah.
The Sims.
I'm going to be
4?
building the YouTube monetization center.
Ooh.
Oh, trust me, it's beautiful.
I like it.
It's beautiful. It's
All right.
exactly what I wanted it to be. So, be sure to tune in for that. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
We'll hang